Sometimes you'll come out to a site and everything is just a pile of metal and electronics. Luckily, we didn't have to deal with that today.
The GCNet weather stations are pretty interesting creatures. They measure a whole variety of ice and climate variables. The weather stations themselves, they're pretty simple. They have their little logger or computer box, and then they have a bunch of instruments, and they're designed to operate for 1 or 2 years without any tender love and care. They should be mostly autonomous and handle some pretty cold temperatures, some pretty extreme winds.
We have a mast up here. These tripods sit all over the coastline, and these are designed to measure melting ice. We have a wind speed and direction sensor up here, a sonic ranger that bounces sound to see how much snow is falling at each site. This is a temperature and humidity sensor that has a fan in it. Then we have a solar panel, and we have the logger, of course, which is measuring and transmitting all this information.
Once an hour, it takes the measurements that it's made and sends it up to a satellite in a burst that then comes down to a server in Copenhagen. And so that's how the weather observations go from the ice sheet to the office. And we use this data to understand what we call the mass balance, how much the ice is gaining or losing its mass.
It's got power! It's these measurements that are publicly available and used for weather models, for climate predictions, sea level rise. There's a lot of scientists around the world that depend on these stations and this data. So it puts us in an extra good mood when it's all working.